So this is a rare opportunity. I actually have to thank a couple of people before I start getting into this. First, I have to thank Drew for sending in the SWFA HD 1 to 6. Because of him, a gentleman by the name of, I'm going to completely destroy this, Jekyll Bob said, hey, you should check out the SAI 6 LPVO. So I go to ATI's website, Armament Technology Incorporated, there you go, and I check it out, and I see a lot of really cool features. It's a $1,300 first focal plane 1 to 6 LPVO, comes in about 18 ounces, comes with a lot of really cool features. So I said, you know what? I'm going to email them and see what they say. Well, you know what happened? 2 days later, I get a phone call from this very wonderful gentleman. I won't mention his name, but he's basically said, hey, I watched a couple of your videos. I like what you do. Tell me what you want to do. So I basically said, I think I'm at the point in my YouTube career or my reviewing career that I could, try to reach out to some companies and review things that I'm interested in. And I answered a couple questions I assume correctly, because this thing showed up at my door less than 48 hours later. I am blown away. This is a demo. I'm, of course, just going to do my usual thing, unbox it, shoot with it, review it. But he said, I just want you to be completely honest, and I don't want you to be a shill. No problem there, because that's basically the last thing that I am. I like what I like, I don't like what I don't like, and that's it. So, without further ado, let's start from square one with a true unboxing that I'm going to hopefully relish. ATI is up in Canada, so for the fact that I got this, again, as quickly as I did, is monumental to say the least. Packaged very well. This is very nice pink bubble wrap. Look at that, nice. I'm going to be using this probably to send it back. All right. Let me get that out of the way. First off, I love how small this box is. This feels like there's almost nothing inside of it. So hopefully that is a true point of things to come. This thing has a lot of things, just from the pictures that I noted, that I am very interested in. So let's see, once we crack this thing open, without destroying it. It's also cool that they sent me a brand new one. This is definitely not something that they handpicked off the shelf and sent in, hoping that it's going to be the best possible model that they have. So they just blindly took one off the shelf and sent it in. I'm going to relish every second of this, folks, so be patient. Or you can skip ahead. I really don't care. Trying not to destroy this box. All right, I'm almost done. Just in case. Oh. That thing looks awesome. Kill flash included, thread on, of course, matching the same FDE. If you're unfamiliar with this thing comes with, you're going to be probably impressed, because it not only comes with caps, it comes with Tenebrex caps. That's right, some of the best caps you can get, it comes with included out of the box. These are made in Japan, as you can clearly see, and I'm wondering if this is going to be more in line with the Sig Tango 6Ts, or, well, there's really nothing else that I've reviewed that's made in Japan first focal plane, with the exception of the Credo, which that one wasn't impressive either. Anyway, this thing is incredibly lightweight, even with these caps on. So, they claim 18 ounces before we get into anything else. This is indeed 18.5 ounces with the kill flash, still under 19 with the kill flash and caps. That is very lightweight. All right, got to go through the box first. Put that off to the side. Wonderfully thick foam. Of course, this is multiple layers. There's 3 layers there. Looks like it was actually machined. I don't think, or it might have been press cut to fit the caps like so. Very fancy. They do that for both the front and the rear. Let's see what is included. We get a nice little patch. Wow, that's a beefy book. Owner's manual. Very nicely illustrated. I like that it's matte pages, or satin pages, as opposed to high gloss, so you could actually read it on my camera, which is fantastic. Their reticle is very interesting. Speaking of, there we go. It does have a ranging section, which is awesome. And these 4 posts, I was very quickly talking to the gentleman from ATI, and I believe those are for when you're going offset in a different position. That now becomes your 0. At least, I believe it was 1x in certain yardage. I want to talk to him more about that because that's something I haven't really seen before. And I'm sure it's going to be fantastic in use. We get a little cleaning brush, which is cool. The 6Ts also come with the exact same brush, but this is at least branded with Tenebrex and Armament.com. Oh, look at that. They actually come with a battery tool. And as opposed to using my very fancy coin, they give you a plastic little coin, so this way you don't destroy your anodizing. Keep that right there. I'm going to use that, of course. And a Velcro patch. $1,300 bought directly from their website so far for all of this. Seems like a pretty good deal. Now, as always, I take off the scope caps because they get in the way unless I'm actually using them. They are on there very aggressively. Tenebrex caps do have some fingers that really grab onto these grooves, and when they're on, they are on. The cool thing about that is you can also get in any position you want without having to worry about anything sort of getting distorted. Anyway, starting at the fast focus eyepiece, this thing is nice and tight, quarter turn in. A very tiny amount of wiggle, we'll be honest, but very, very tiny. It is very smooth. You can hear it rubbing inside, probably on the seal. But tension on this is perfect. You don't have to worry about this thing moving on you. Put that all the way in for safekeeping. Magnification ring, we go from 1 to 6 at 6 o'clock, so 180 degrees rotation. Oh, that is very smooth. Very quiet. This is reminiscent like a Razor HD. Wow. Like melted butter in your hands. Top tier magnification ring. Here's something I really like. For their battery cover, you can clearly see its index, which is fine, but it is recessed from the actual illumination ring. Why I like this is I've noticed, hold on, let me get it. I've noticed, especially on more recent stuff, Primary Arms Microprism, the battery cap is the exact same diameter and the exact same knurling as the control. And for whatever reason, because this is a little hard to turn, I have completely unscrewed this battery cap whenever I use this. And it's annoying. And I started noticing it more with other optics too. This is the Steiner T5 Xi 3-15, which I've had for quite some time, but I just haven't had the time to review it. But again, the actual battery cap is part of how you turn the illumination on. So guess what? You go to turn it on, and it comes undone. It's horse shit, in my opinion. But not here. For this, you need the special tool, or quarter. I'm going to use the special tool so I don't mar this up, to unscrew it. And you do not have to worry about this thing coming loose on you in the field. A lot of threads on that. Nice O-ring in the back. Nice big spring in the middle. Standard CR2032 battery, made in Japan. We have our 6 fingers. Hold it nice and centered. We have a spring panel in the middle, so we have spring pressure on both the front and back end of the battery. Made in Japan, that cell. Absolutely wonderful. Wonderful. For any of you telling me to cut my nails, guess what? I was too excited to do so. I just wanted to get my hands on this thing. Illumination Control goes from off to 9. This is not a 360-degree turn. Hard stop on the off, probably the hard stop going to the 9 as well. It would only make sense. It does not go 360 degrees around. I'm sure there's a reason behind it, probably something to do with its overall strength, but let's give this thing a twist. Nine is a hard stop. That sounds and feels on par with the best I've ever gotten my hands on. It is so crisp and precise and smooth. Oh, that is fantastic. Listen, just listen. A little bit of wiggle when it's in the detent, but it just snaps out like a GRX 810 group set. Oh, just pop the trigger and go boom, next gear, boom, next gear. Oh, that is fantastic. I'm not going to spoil myself and look through it yet. I'm going to wait until we do that together. Anyway, from there on to the elevation, which, would you look at that, they are captive technically because this little ring over here does hold the caps on, so you do not have to worry about losing them. But I am kind of worried about them hitting. So I'm going to carefully remove both of these and slide this off the tube before I scratch this thing up. With that out of the way, we clearly can see that these turrets are a little on the unique side, but they also harken back to some of the more budget-friendly options out there, which is kind of weird hybrid, but I think it's going to be fine. These are in MRAD, as you can see, 0.1 MRAD per click, 10 full mils per rotation on both of these. Meanwhile, we have a left and right indicator, individual for the windage, which is fantastic. Let's give these things a twist. Oh, wow. There is zero, and I mean zero play in these turrets. It just pops right into the next one. Good sound, really good feel, no wiggle whatsoever. And the way that they tell you to zero this is you get it like so, then you come and you slide this panel over. Like that. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Again, this LPVO with the drop reticle and first focal plane, you're going to set this and forget it. But it's nice to know if you do have to make a minor adjustment, you got this little ring, which was pretty hard to turn, which is a good sign, which means it's not going to rotate itself out of alignment under recoil. But that's it. It's a little hard to pick up those lines. If these were 5 mils per rotation, it'd be a lot easier to see. But again, for something like this, I'm not concerned because the clicks are so easy to pick up that if you had to make finite adjustments, you're going to have no problem. The windage, exact same. Zero play. Very easy to get into the next field. I'm at a true loss of words, folks. This doesn't often happen. And no, I'm not just saying that because this company sent me their optic. No. This is on a different level. This is like, all bullshitting aside, a Razor HD that's even lighter and first focal plane. But the true test is to see how it actually looks, to see how it actually works, see how the illumination is, see how the reticle works. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get cracking. The exterior conditions are not ideal. I filmed this immediately after my unboxing. However, look real quick at those power lines. They barely move at all. The image through this thing at 1x is stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. The reticle itself is a little bit finer than I would like, but when we focus in a little bit more, it's really not terrible. As for the illumination, they decided to illuminate the center crosshair with the drops underneath it. Figuring this being a first focal plane, they wanted to illuminate the drops in case you're shooting at greater distances. I spoke to the engineer, and this is what they decided on. They were thinking about going with a fine center dot that would be nice and bright, or this setup. And they chose this because the reticle and how this thing is going to be used, so I at least respect their thought process on that. As far as the overall brightness in a darker condition like this, it's more than adequate. However, during the daytime, it can be a little bit less than what I would like. But look at the image quality here at 6x. It is incredible. On par with the Leupold Mark VI, which is probably the top tier as far as the overall glass quality goes. But I'm going to get ahead of myself. This video is already extremely, extremely long, and I apologize. But it's just the way things go when you're very excited about something. So far, this thing is shaping up to be extremely good, and perhaps even the benchmark 1:6 LPVO in first focal plane. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. A huge thank you to SAI Optics for sending this in for review, and I'll be seeing you guys very soon. Thanks again for watching. And a huge thank you to my Patreon providers. Without you, this truly wouldn't be possible. If you'd like to help support the channel but don't want to join my Patreon, I completely understand. But you can help by using the affiliate links in the description below. Thanks again for watching.